Hey, we're live!
I guess we are.
I guess so, right? Hi, everybody. I am Mark Sam Rosenthal. I'm one of the co-creators of West 40s. I also play TJ in the show. I'm here with co-star Dan Domingues, who plays Luis. You probably remember him, I'm sure.
I hope.
Yeah, I mean, really? How could you forget?
Hello.
The lap
It was
dance
all about
scene.
that episode was all about me turning 40.
Exactly. It was all about Luis's birthday, which in real life has not even happened yet.
No. I'm 6 years off. Not at all. Not at all.
Well, we've all turned 40. That's why we wrote the show.
That's right.
Anyway, we have a few questions from fans that we thought we would ask Dan about, and then just kind of talk a little bit about the show and get to know Dan a little bit. So I'm going to start by asking you. We have had a lot of people comment on that they're really intrigued by your character because you actually have a child. The character has a teenage son
In the show.
in the show, and we've actually heard from a lot of gay dads, not daddies, but actual dads who have children that they're really excited to see, a character like that represented. And I was wondering if you'd gotten any, what kind of response you've gotten to people you've talked to who've seen the show.
The response I've gotten from the show is people responding to the show itself. Very few people have actually brought up the fact that I'm a real dad on the show. So, like I was just telling you before, someone stopped me on the street. They recognized me from the show. I've gotten a few people reach out to me on Facebook. Saying how much they like the show. There's a lot of people in Toronto, surprisingly.
Really?
Have you found this?
I have. Is anybody there from Toronto?
Anybody from Toronto?
We have Canadians on the line.
Because I've gotten 4 or 5 messages from guys in Toronto who have seen the show and loved it.
Wow.
So the response has all been positive, but I can't say anyone has brought up the fact that that my character has a son.
Okay, well, those are some people are out there interested in that.
But I have to say it was refreshing to play that in the show because, I don't have a child in real life. I don't plan to have a child in real life.
Right.
And
I don't either.
And so it was fun to get to play that in a TV, not a TV show, but our web series.
Yeah. Well, it's a series.
Yeah.
It's a series.
It's in that vein. Of
TV, web. I mean, it's all the lines are blurred these days. By the way, we don't have Toronto on the line, but hi, Cutie Pie in Iraq. I mean, what?
Iraq?
What?
How are you?
Cutie Pie, keep waiting. Be patient. We are trying to go into production this fall on the next episodes. Wow.
Yeah.
And they'll get to Iraq. I mean, it's the web. They'll get there as soon as they get anywhere else, thank God.
Instantaneously.
Instantaneously.
There's no waiting in today's world.
So no child for you. No children on the horizon. Same for me. I've got a nephew and a niece, and I love to do that.
I also have a nephew and a niece. Yes.
West 40s.
Hello. It's all coming together. But I have to say this. I grew up, my mother ran a daycare service out of our home when I was younger for a good 15 years. And so in our home, so I spent so much time around screaming, crying, angry, bitter children
that you're done,
that I swore I would never have any of my own. Yeah. And we're also in a time where I don't want to bring kids into the world. So.
There you go. I mean, I know. I feel like some of my parent friends have serious anxieties about that.
Yeah. Things you think about.
Well, you know what? We're gay men in our 40s in New York City, so we get to be daddies in another way. I mean, do you get called a daddy or a DILF?
Never a DILF, but I have been referred to as a daddy. And
just on the street? Just cat calls?
No, not on the street. Usually in chats or messages online. I've never gotten any
chats or messages online. Okay,
that's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay, that's as far as you need to go.
But I've never been called a daddy on the street like in our series. That would be nice. Somebody, please.
I got called a DILF on Fire Island.
Did you really?
I did. I really did.
Maybe I need to go to Fire Island.
I was like, okay, I'll take it.
And
the guy just kept walking though. I was like,
there was no like
cock tease.
Follow up.
No.
Can we say cock tease on this?
It's the internet.
Hey, we're all adults. We're all adults.
What a tease. And thank you, Cutie Pie. I'm sure you look pretty good too.
We were in Provincetown last year on a little vacation, and not a single person called me a daddy.
Really?
Yes.
How long were you there?
For 6 days.
Oh, that's
but it's a gay mecca. Someone should have called me. It's interesting because we all have the image that we create about ourselves, and like in many respects, I still feel like I'm 24.
Oh yeah, me too. The inner reality does not match.
Never matches the outer.
No.
So even though being called a daddy is fun because it means someone is attracted to you, I guess. It's still the thought of that.
It's jarring to me because you're right. Oh God, it gets more real though by the day.
Oh, absolutely.
When I pass like a 28-year-old on the street and I'm like, oh, that guy's cute.
He's a contemporary of mine. Yeah,
and then I realize he doesn't see me that way. He's looking and saying like, yeah, that's 40 something, you're old.
It's one of the realities that our show really, really, I think, addresses, in a really interesting and funny way.
Yes, I do too, and I wanted to address because that's
like
why we wrote the show.
In that very first scene on the subway.
Yes.
Where you think, oh, this kid who's coming on to me suddenly wants to offer me his seat because he thinks I'm too old.
Oh, God.
That's a crashing.
Based on a true story.
Oh.
Speaking of, okay, so we talked about you're turning 40 in the show. That's the pilot episode. It's your character, Luis's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
Now, what did you do for your actual 40th birthday? Was it a big deal? Did you make it a big deal, or?
It wasn't a big deal, and I actually now have a hard time recalling what I actually did on my 40th. But unlike Louis,
drunk,
I guess, or high. Unlike,
okay, I'm gonna go there. Can we say that?
What? He uses drugs?
Oh dear.
They weren't illicit. Anyway.
Tylenol? What is not an illicit drug? Okay, no questions.
Count them off.
All right.
Unlike Luis, I was actually partnered in my 40s. I still am. So I didn't have that anxiety of being alone in my 40s. But I do remember. I do recall turning 40 and thinking that that phrase, you have less time ahead of you than you do behind you. Is that how that phrase goes?
Yeah, something like that. I get the gist.
and getting real anxiety around. Yeah. Oh, what have I done with my life? Have I reached my goals? Which I certainly have not.
Yeah, right.
So there was that check. I remember having that check-in.
I had that check-in too. That's why I wrote the show. I was like, oh no.
Well, thank you for doing that.
I've been meaning to do that. So let's get cracking. Yeah. No, my 40th birthday, I was single at that time. I went rafting. I took a week-long rafting trip in the Grand Canyon.
By yourself?
Well, no, I think I would have died. But I did like a group rafting thing, but I went alone. And
that's great.
Yeah, I want to do something that was really out of the ordinary for me.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Really mark the occasion. Anyways, let's see. Who else we got going on? Oh, hi, East 90s. That's great.
Hey.
I can take the Q train to you now. Thank God.
The East Side is much more open to us now.
Yeah, it is.
And in 10 years, there'll be a web series called East 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesse in Minneapolis wants to know what was the inspiration for the show. I know a Jesse in Minneapolis. I'm a little curious if this is the same Jesse.
Hey, I was just in Minneapolis last year doing a play. I loved Minneapolis.
That's right. I remember when you went there. Yeah, at the Guthrie, right?
At the Guthrie.
Fantastic theater.
Fantastic town.
Oh, it's Jesse. It is the Jesse I know. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for tuning in.
I know Jesse?
Well, I don't think you do. No. I think you moved to Minneapolis before we started working together. Okay. The inspiration for the show was... you know what it really was? It was just living in Hell's Kitchen and living in a 5th floor walk up and having it be harder and harder to walk up the stairs. and looking around and seeing all the younger guys moving into the neighborhood. It's really like huge gay population in Hell's Kitchen, where the show is set in the West 40s, and just sort of feeling like, okay, am I still kind of like what Dan and I were talking about? Am I still what I think I am? Right. What am I now that I'm, that I've turned 40 and I'm in this gay mecca, if you will. So
yeah, how does the world see me?
Yeah, how does the world see me?
You start to think about that.
What's my place here? Right. So that was really sort of in a broad sense, that was the inspiration for the show. Good question.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's been an eye thing for me. You had an issue walking up the stairs, but recently I've been doing that thing where you have to take the book and you have to sort of find the right place where you can actually see the words. Yeah,
no, it's getting worse for me too. Like in the restaurant scene in the pilot where then we get the menus and everybody pulls out their flashlights.
To use the
just to answer our friend in Iraq, we have 5 more episodes written. That was the question. How many episodes are written? Mm-hmm. So it's a 6-episode season 1. We've shot the pilot. We've got 5 more. So we're looking to line up financing and go into production this fall on the remaining episodes.
And our friends here can help us on that journey by
share this.
Share the show.
Pilot. Yeah. So
send it to your friends.
Send it around.
Tweet about it.
Yeah. If you haven't sent this to your 5 richest gay friends yet,
what do you do?
What are you doing?
Frankly, what do you do?
Let's see.
What have you done for me lately?
Taking it back.
Hey, well, I just saw a sign in the subway that Janet Jackson did a concert in the city recently. Like,
she did. My boyfriend was there.
Really?
He's a huge fan. Yeah. As we look to the side where he is.
Did you see that someone wrote that sometimes they use daddy as a slam or as to throw shade? Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, anyway, everybody's got their demons.
Moving on.
But serious thanks to all of our friends in the Middle East that are watching us right now. I don't know what time it is, but we've got Iraq and now Kuwait. So, oh my God. Operation Gay Desert Storm happening right now.
Last December, I was in Abu Dhabi.
Really?
I went to Abu Dhabi for a week on a project.
Oh.
Any fans in Abu Dhabi out there? We'd love to hear from
you. Yeah, for real. I've never been there.
You have a beautiful country. I love being there. It's great.
Well, we have a few more minutes left. I want to talk about a couple more questions. The lap dance scene in the pilot, where Luis's character is given a lap dance for his 40th birthday. That was actually the first scene we filmed, right?
That was the first scene we filmed. 8 a.m. in that club.
So how was that?
Well, look at the scene. Who would not have fun with Tom Feeney grinding?
I would agree. But at 8 a.m., how did you guys get into that? I mean,
well, the great thing about Tom Feeney, the actor who played the dancer in that as a part of the show, is that he's a real dancer.
Yeah,
he's in a G-string. But Tom because he's a dancer and he's used to using his body in a particular way. He was just so free. Like he just walked on set with a G-string and he would adjust himself in the middle of the scene. And he had no problems. He had been a dancer, so he had no problems. Not that kind of dancer, but he was a trained, skilled dancer.
Yeah.
And that was just, we did that for 4 hours, I think.
That is an hour longer than the longest lap dance.
No, he was the sweetest guy. That was so much fun. I'd never had a lap dance in real life.
In real life, that was gonna be my next question. Really?
So that was the closest.
No, I definitely.
We don't need to get into that.
Okay. Hey, we already talked about your illicit drug use.
We're all adults here. We're all in our 40s. We've done some living.
Yeah.
But I never had a lap dance.
Never.
So me and Luis have that in common.
Oh.
Well, among other things.
Right.
But
not having a child.
No, I don't have that.
Never had a lap dance, but
that I know of. Silly. No, but the lap dance scene
for me to have a child that I didn't know of.
Yeah. Me too. The lap dance scene was great fun, and Tom was a great sport, and yeah.
Well, we actually had a request of a fan on Facebook, Maru Sero, asked if you would do a private session on Daddy Live Cam to raise money for the rest of season 1.
Well, you know what? If it'll get the rest of the episode shot, I will make the sacrifice and I will appear on this Daddy Live Cam.
Wow! Oh my God! I feel like that's a lot.
I just agreed
to
yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to do on this Daddy Live Cam.
That's true. You haven't said what you would do. You said you would appear. You could appear fully clothed eating a croissant.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a type of Daddy Live Cam. Let's see. Jason Morley, before we get to the next question, Jason Morley asks, how can we support the series? Are you guys using crowdfunding at all? Definitely stay tuned, Jason. We are working with some potential investors right now to try and finance the show, but we did use a Kickstarter to fund the pilot, and we may go back that route for some supplemental funding for the rest of season 1. So definitely stay subscribed on the YouTube channel, and then also if you go to our website, you can subscribe to our mailing list, and that way you'll definitely get updated if we're doing any more crowdsourcing. So thank you for asking. You know, stay in touch.
Yeah.
And share with rich friends.
Spread the word.
Let's see, a couple more questions. How about this? What was your favorite part of shooting the pilot, on or off camera?
Well, so we discussed the lap dance scene.
Okay, you know what? I guess that might be the answer.
That was a fave. That was a fave. No, but we you know, just the camaraderie of everybody. It was just great fun. It wasn't, I mean, I'm sure it was high pressure for you guys because you were producing it and you had to get a certain amount of pages shot every day. But it just felt so relaxed. You guys created a very relaxed set.
That was fantastic to hear.
I was not always the case.
I was stressed, but I was sure co-producing it as well as being in it. And, you know, but I'm glad that your experience was, you know, relaxed and fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. We did it over a holiday weekend, I remember.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So it was great. The weather was nice, and you know, it was just anytime an actor gets to act is a good time. So
excellent.
So when an actor gets an opportunity to act, especially on screen, I'm mostly a theater actor, so I haven't had a lot of opportunities to act on film. So to get that opportunity was just a thrill.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Speaking of, another question from somebody else, but I actually wanted to ask you, because I know you're doing a stage show coming up this fall in New York. Actually, I thought, you know, I want you to tell people where else they can see you while they're waiting for episode 2 of West 40s.
Starting October 30th, I'm doing a show called Wild Goose Dreams. It's at the Public Theater here in New York City, downtown. I think it's on Lafayette Street. Everyone knows the Public Theater.
The Public.
Yeah. Joe Papp created the Public. It's the, you know, Shakespeare in the Park every summer. That Public. It's a fantastic play. I did a workshop of it last year, so we're coming back and doing a full production. It's written by Hansel Jung, who's a young playwright out of Yale Drama.
Oh, that's where they come from.
Directed by all the best. It's directed by Lee Silverman, and it's, you know, it's going to be, it's a sort of a play with music, and it's very timely because it's about North Korea. And that's all I'm going to say.
Damn, well, I will be there. We'll try and get the cast together. Come downtown and see you.
That would be great.
Go downtown from the West 40s to the east.
To the down East Village. So that's what I'm doing next.
That is great. I'm excited for that. And then, of course, we'll be, you know, getting into production on the rest of the episodes, which that gets me back to what really should be our final question.
Sure.
From Jason Sorley. Was asking, how will the rest of the story unfold? I probably can speak a little better to this than you since I wrote it.
I read it.
Yes.
I read almost all of the episodes that you've written beyond, and it goes to some really interesting things.
It does go to some interesting. Thank you for saying that.
Yes,
And I won't spoil any specifics, but I will say that so each episode will focus on a different character. Everybody's in every episode, but each one, you know, sort of like dives into one of the characters as we go forward. And, you know, there's like a continuity of action, but it's definitely not as serialized, like this happens and then that happens so that can happen, so that can happen. You know, each episode will have like a fun focus on one of the characters, involving all the others as well. And that's about all of the time we have for today. We've gone, it's been 19 minutes of talking to the world.
Like that.
We've talked to Switzerland. Hello. We've gone from the Upper East Side, which I still don't know exactly where that is.
I'm wondering if Mexican Manny is actually in Mexico.
Mexican Manny, is that where you are?
Let's hope.
Please. Oh, jeez. Mexican Manny's got a little dirty mind there. Well, I don't know. I mean, all I can say is to all of you, if you want to see more, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. like, comment on this, keep commenting on everything, and share the pilot, please.
Most importantly,
it's getting
social media.
We have like over 83,000 people have watched the show, obviously from all over the world, but we want 100,000 people to see it. So, keep sharing it, everybody. That's the best way to ensure that we, can keep churning out the next episodes.
I'm seeing Australia. Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh.
Mexico. So, wow. Switzerland. This is great.
So
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, in 2 weeks, I'll be back on September 15th, Saturday, same time, same place, same blue pigs.
Beautiful place.
On the wall in my apartment. I will be here with one of the other cast members, and we'll do the same thing all over again. Get to know them, talk more about the show, take your questions, take your comments. So look out for that. If you're not already following us on Instagram, Facebook, do that, because we're going to announce the next cast member interview there, and solicit your questions on those social platforms. So join the West 40s world, and we'll do this again in 2 weeks.
This was lovely.
Yeah, thanks,
you.
Dan.
And
thanks everybody.
Thanks everyone for writing in.
Yeah, it's great. We love you guys, and we're ready to make more. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.